Hi everybody, welcome back. Long time no see. I had a week off work last week and I went away for a few days to the Forest of Dean, which was lovely. It was so nice to get away, and Forest of Dean is absolutely beautiful. But I didn't have any videos planned, so that's why I haven't uploaded for a little while. But I'm back now and I've got some videos sorted for the next few weeks or so, so I should hopefully get back into that kind of regular routine of filming. And the video I'm sort of kicking things off with is today's Shop My Stash video. So I'm going to recap on the items I've been working on in October and then choose some items to work on for November. Now with my Shop My Stash, I used to set myself targets on the number of times I wanted to use that item during the month, and I think it was either 3 or 5 times, I can't remember which, but I think it was my previous eyeshadow roulette video where I basically said that I don't really want to be setting myself targets on Shop My Stash products or eyeshadow roulette products, even though I'm not doing the eyeshadow roulette anymore. And that was just because setting myself usage goals and targets just kind of took the fun out of it a little bit, and I felt like I really had to reach those targets. Wearing makeup is fun. I don't really want to be setting myself targets on how many times I should use certain items. So for this Shop My Stash, I'm moving forwards. I'm not going to set myself any targets, any usage goals. I'm just going to choose whatever makeup I feel like wearing on the day. So there are some items in the Shop My Stash where I've only worn like once, and then others where I have worn about 5 times. And I've got my items in this bag here. I did choose quite a few items last month, and then I didn't wear makeup at all last week. I only wore it a couple of times when I was on holiday as well. So I think my usage for these and also my upcoming project pan is going to be quite low. But let's talk through all these items. Let's see what I've chosen and I'll just sort of share my thoughts. Alright, kicking things off with a foundation. I don't have a foundation in my project pan, and that's the first time for a long time, and that's just because I don't really have many foundations now. A lot of my foundations are new, including this one, which is Nars Sheer Glow. I have this in the shade DeVille. I've got it on today. It's a beautiful foundation. It's like a light medium foundation, but I would probably say more towards the medium coverage than the light coverage. It looks very natural, it's very fresh, it gives a little bit of a healthy glow. Now I don't like a lot of glow, I don't like a lot of dewiness, and you don't get that with this. Lasts for a really long time as well. I know that this base is going to last right up until the evening and I'm filming in the morning. It's just a really lovely foundation to use. The shade match for me, DeVille, if you're sort of similar colouring to me, DeVille might be a good match for you as well. Really easy to blend, really easy to use. I prefer using it with a damp sponge, but you can use it with a brush. Really lovely foundation. I use this one 4 times. Next I've got a couple of blushes, and my theme for the makeup for October was very orange. Lots of like orange, burnt orange, copper, gold, a little bit of red in there, and the blushes that I chose are orangey blushes, and I tend to go for orange blushes anyway because I feel like it suits my skin tone better than pinks. First one is Milani Luminoso. I wore this one twice, and I only wore this one twice because this one's got a bit of shimmer in it. Again, not really much of a shimmer fan, although this is actually really pretty and I do have some of this on today. But I wore this one twice, and I'm actually wearing this over the top of the next one, which is Vieve Piazza. More of like a muted peach, not as corally as Luminoso, and I wore this one 5 times. Vieve blushes are beautiful, really easy to work with, really easy to blend, great pigmentation, but you can build it up as well, so you can be really kind of like light-handed with it, but you can then really go in for a punch of blush. I love blusher, but I don't wear a load of it, so I find this one really easy to sort of like build up how much I'm using. Next I included a face and eye palette, and I think for this I just said I'm going to use whatever I wanted from this. So I've got 4 eyeshadows, a blusher and a highlighter. The highlighter is a beautiful shade. It's that real like yellow gold shade. Lovely shade. The blush is really nice as well. I would describe it as like a darker peach than Vieve Piazza. Really pigmented blusher and highlighter. The eyeshadows aren't as pigmented. I was a little bit disappointed with these eyeshadows. I used the brown one here as like a liner today, and I had to really build up the intensity of it, so they're not as pigmented as other eyeshadows I've got within my collection. I think these are probably the least pigmented eyeshadows that I now own. However, I love the colour scheme of this palette. It's beautiful for this time of month, full of those kind of warm, rich oranges, coppers, browns. Really love the colours in here. I just wish the eyeshadows were a little bit more pigmented. However, I wore this 5 times. Next is an eyeshadow duo, my only eyeshadow duo, and I absolutely love it. It's Nars Isolde, this duo here, with a shimmery gold this side and then a shimmery copper the other side. I have the gold on my lids today and these are just beautiful. They're so pigmented, they last all day as well, really easy to blend, really buttery texture, and I love to wear this duo at this time of the year, October, Halloween, the beginning of autumn, and also at Christmas. Wore this one twice though. I thought I would wear it a little bit more often, but I'm not bothered by my usage with this because I love it and I know that I kind of like dip in and out of it throughout the year anyway. Next is another eyeshadow palette that fits within that kind of autumnal October Halloweeny theme. Urban Decay Naked Heat. Love the colours in this eyeshadow palette. However, I don't often go for the darker ones up here. I tend to kind of stick around here, dip into a little bit of the middle ones. However, the shimmers within this eyeshadow palette aren't great. They're not really that pigmented. You've got to build them up quite a bit. Not my favourite formulation of shimmer eyeshadows. However, the mattes are really lovely and they are really pigmented. You only have to dip your brush in literally like twice and you've got enough pigment. I had, what have I got on? I've got Chaser on all over the lid as like a base, and then I put on some of Low Blow in the crease. Really good crease shade, Low Blow, along with Sourced. And I wore this palette 5 times during the past month. Really enjoyed wearing this palette. I do really enjoy using this at this time of year. Next up is an eyeliner, and I did say I was going to wear this all over the lid and blend it out, but I think I only wore it as a standard eyeliner. It's by Peaches and Cream and it's in the shade Dynasty, and it's really kind of blunt now. I need to sharpen it. But it looks like a copper shimmer, but when you blend it out, it goes a little bit rose gold like, but it's a beautiful, beautiful colour, and the formulation of Peaches and Cream eyeliners are fantastic because they're so creamy. There's no tugging on your eyes, but they also last for a long time as well, which you wouldn't expect from an eyeliner that's as creamy as this. Really beautiful shade, and it is also my intention to pan this year because as much as I love it, I don't think that it's one that I'm going to wear loads because I'm not really an eyeliner fan. As much as I love the marketing and promotion of eyeliners, I don't wear eyeliners that often, so I think this is one that should be easy enough for me to pan, but saying that, I love it, would highly recommend it. Next are a couple of eye ones from Vieve. I have quite a lot of Vieve makeup in this Shop My Stash, and they are in the shades Sand and Camel. So Sand is slightly lighter. It's not like a pure beige, it's slightly darker than that. It's a bit of a warm beige, a warmer darker beige, halfway between beige and Camel. I wore that one once, and Camel I wore twice. Camel, I should probably show you on my hand, shouldn't I? Camel is this one here. I wore this one twice. This is a really good crease shade or an all over shade. Whereas Sand, I tend to use a bit more, Sand, oh, wrong finger, that's rude. Sand is that one there, so a bit lighter. They're really easy to use. They're so creamy. It's basically just drawing on your eyelids. So if you're somebody like me who isn't great at using eyeshadow, it's so easy to just draw these over your eye, blend out, you're done. And they do last for a good amount of time as well. However, I do tend to set them with a similar looking eyeshadow. I am interested in getting some more of these because they do have some more mid-toned browns, which I think would be really nice. And I think somebody did request a video for me using these eye ones. However, I've only got 2 of them. They're fairly similar in colour. I might try to incorporate them into like a get ready with me or something. So I am aware of your comment, thank you, but I am trying to think how best to kind of film that video because like I say, I've only got 2 and that could be a little bit of a boring video. So Sand, I wore once, Camel twice. Next I've got some lip liners from Vieve. I have 3 of them here, but I think I've got 5 in total. And I've got them in the shades Velvet Sands, Bark and Rumour, and these were the ones that were recommended for people with warmer skin tones. I've swatched them here. I've got Velvet Sands at the top, Rumour, no, Bark in the middle, and then Rumour at the bottom. Velvet Sands I have on today, and that is very, very similar to MAC Strip Down, which is a lip liner I'm panning. It is a very warm, really good neutral nude brown lip liner, really like that one. Bark in the middle is much more of like that mid-toned brown, however I think that is still too dark for me. And Rumour, I'm getting Bark and Rumour mixed up. Rumour at the bottom is very dark. It's actually kind of verging on like a berry purple shade rather than a brown. So Rumour I didn't wear at all, it's just far too dark for me, and if I was to be really picky, I think I would probably declutter that. However, it's a new piece of makeup and I don't really want to declutter it yet. I want to see if I can kind of use it up. Bark is also kind of too dark for me. I don't really think those dark browns like that suit me. I think more of the lighter browns like Velvet Sands suit me. So Bark I only wore twice and Velvet Sands I wore 4 times. I tried to wear them together and sort of smudge them out, and that did kind of work. But I do just think Bark and especially Rumour are a bit too dark for me, so I'm going to try and use them up and then I won't repurchase them. Velvet Sands I would repurchase, and the formulation of these lip liners are beautiful. They're so creamy, they're really easy to apply, they last for a long time as well, so I love the formulation. It's just I think the colours, not Velvet Sands, but the colours are a little bit too dark for me. And then the last 3 products are again all by Vieve, and they are 3 lipsticks. I've got them in the shades Treasure, Power Suit and Coming in Hot, and I wore all of them once. Treasure I actually wore today, I've got a little bit of it sort of blotted on. However, when I opened it, this, look, that's come out. That is not good for a lipstick that cost 20 something quid, I can't remember exactly how much it is. So that has come out. However, the colour is far too light for me. I've kind of managed to make it work today, but if I was to just apply this as usual like you would do a lipstick, far too light, it would wash me out, make my teeth look yellow. So again, this is a makeup item that I would probably declutter if I was being extremely ruthless. However, it's nearly full size and it was a gift, so I don't really want to get rid of it yet. I'm going to try and use it up by blending it in with other colours. Coming in Hot is slightly darker, a better lipstick colour for me, but still not the right kind of shade. Power Suit though, I love. Power Suit is this kind of burnt orange shade, so this was perfect for this time of year. It's just a gorgeous burnt orange, it's lovely. I would definitely, I would likely repurchase this one, but the other 2 I would not. Now I love Vieve makeup, I think Vieve makeup is absolutely brilliant, however the lip liners and the lipsticks are, in my opinion, the weaker parts of the Vieve brand. Lip liner formulation, like I mentioned, I love. The colours, not my kind of colours. The lipstick colours, so the lipstick colours aren't my colours as well, and the formulation is a little bit drying. So I would definitely repurchase eyeshadows, blushes, those types of products from Vieve, but the lipsticks and lip liners I'm glad I've tried, but I don't think I would repurchase. Potentially Power Suit, we'll see. Alright, so let's have a look at my dressing table behind me and pick some makeup for November. Now what I typically do for November and what I think I'm going to do now is go for some darker makeup. I like to go for something a little bit more grungy, something a bit more maroon, a bit more rust, a bit more burgundy, purple. So let's have a look, see what I've got and choose some new makeup to be working on for November. Okay, let's start with this compartment then. Now I've got a little bit of a mix and match between base eyes and a bit of lip in here. So let's start over here. Mascara, no. This is a Rare Beauty blusher, but that's quite coral, so that's going to be a no. I am going to go actually for this mini Rare Beauty highlighter. This is the only highlighter, or single highlighter I own, so I do want to start using this one up. It's a bit of like an icy pink, not really my shade, but I like the formulation, so I'm going to take that one. I've got my 2 new concealers here, so I've got my mini Nars one and then the Vieve one. I haven't used these ones for a good couple of weeks, so instead of them kind of sitting around not getting used whilst I'm using up the 2 concealers in my project pan, I'm going to take one for now. I'm going to go for the mini Nars one. This is the mini Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I've got this in the shade Madeline, so I'll take that. Here I've got an eyeshadow primer, that's a no for now whilst I'm planning my other one. This is the Bare Minerals foundation, nah. I'm actually going to take my new foundation, which is Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat. I've got this in the shade B20. This is a lovely foundation, not quite as good as I remember I don't think, however it is new so I've only used it a couple of times, so it would be good to try this over the next month and get more of an opinion of it. Primer. Too Faced concealer, but I'm going to use my Nars one. Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, that's going to be a no. And then I've got 3 lip glosses, which are also going to be a no. 2 Vieve ones, they're a no for now. However, there's probably, that's an eyebrow pencil, there's probably going to be some eyeliners in here that, if I can grab hold of, that I want to use. So I'm going to say no to the blue one. I just don't feel like that's November vibes. The orange one from Peaches and Cream that I was working on, that's also going to be a no. I've not used the nude in a while, so let's take that. Let's also go for the Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner as well, because you've got a purple on one side. So purple, that's quite vampy, November vibes. But then there's also a lighter rose gold, which is like a shimmer. So this could be quite nice for that November style makeup, so let's go for that. And then I've got a mini brown liquid liner, that'll be a no, I'll just use that as and when I want to. Okay, lip items. This is an orange red, so that's going to be a no. This is just a nude pink, that's a no. That's a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, that's also going to be a no. I think I'm going to go for one of these Vieve ones at the end, which is this one in the shade Promise. This is actually darker than I expected it to be. This is like a kind of like a vampy pink lipstick, although on me it looks a little bit purple, and I haven't used this in a while because it is a bit too dark for me, so let's take this one. And then I'm going to partner it with the corresponding lip liner, which is this one, I think. However, I am also going to take Rumour, which is this lip liner here, but the lip liner to go with this lipstick shade is this one here, which as you can see is quite dark, it's quite purple. This is in the shade Bewitched, so let's go for those. This is some more base makeup and also my Nars Duo. I think I'm only going to go for one of the blushes here by Vieve, which is Piazza, which is this one here. So this is like a dark rust shade. It looks a little bit too dark for me, but it's not. You can actually build this up really nicely, and it does also work really well as an eyeshadow shade as well. So yeah, let's take that one. Alright, and then we've got some eyeshadow palettes. So this is the new Vieve Face palette. I think I'm going to say no to this one. Again, I'll just dip in and out of this as I want. This is the Sunday Funday one that I was working on. This one is a little bit, oh, excuse me, a little bit darker. I could use this, but I don't want to. I do, however, want to choose my ABH Modern Renaissance palette because this has some really lovely reds and burgundies, but also some nice nude shades as well. So I can create a really nice natural eyeshadow look with this palette, but also a little bit darker, a little bit vampier with some of those reds and pinks in here. So let's go for this. And then I think I'm going to go as well for my Vieve Muse palette. So this is also pinks and purples, but a little bit more muted, a little bit more toned down, a bit more wearable probably compared to Modern Renaissance. So if I can kind of pair these two together, I can hopefully get some really nice looks from these. So I'm going to go for this one as well. So these are the items I'm going to be working on in November then. So I've got one foundation, a concealer, I've got a highlighter, blusher, 2 eyeliners, 2 eyeshadow palettes, 2 lip liners and a lipstick. So not as much makeup compared to last time, but that's because I don't really own as much purpley vampy makeup compared to like oranges, browns, coppers, those kind of shades. So I think this is likely to be a little bit more manageable compared to next time, but it doesn't matter anyway because I'm not setting myself those target goals. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please leave me a comment if you've tried any of these makeup items here today. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon for my next one. Bye!